good, everybody. Welcome. Hello. Hi, Howie. How fun to see you. Hello, Mark. Wonderful. So happy, still a little bit of full moon magic going on. And the full moon magic podcast that we did here is I think at about 40 minutes or something, we kind of go into the powerful meditation, which you can still access. So do that. And wonderful. So today is my daughter's birthdays. So I have twins and they're 29 today. And I don't live near them, but it's a very, very joyful day. So my dad turned 92 on Sunday. And my dear friend Christian and his wife are about to have a baby. They're the Mayan and Aztec couple that run the ceremonies for us, if you saw the solstice ceremony. And so there's a lot of birthing going on and a lot of new energy. I was just talking with one of my clients. We did a deep session today, and it was her birthday on Sunday also. And so this is part of the new year, right? Is birthing, like endings, cycles, the solstice, really the most powerful one. Then we're going to have February 17th, we're going to have the Chinese New Year when we officially switch from the serpent to the fire horse. So it's going to be really powerful difference. We're feeling it already. The fire is calling us. Many, many traditions, many, many different lineages, many cultures have built temples, have made symbols and languages, studied stars and cycles, put up these pyramids and stone circles and things around the world in order to track the cycles, in order to prophesize what's happening, to track how the energies change. How do the stars in the full moon that we just had, how does that affect us? How does it affect the earth? When does it affect the earth? One thing I learned from Maria Wheatley was that the full moon doesn't affect the waters in the earth, don't react, and you don't feel it back up in the surface level for 6 days after the full moon. So let's see, that was Saturday. So where are we? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So we're at day 3. That means Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That means on Friday, you'll start to feel the earth energies if you're in a sacred site, of course, but if you're anywhere, because there's earth energies, earth currents, earth spirals all over. And the beautiful thing is when we get back into realizing we're not a part of this drama that's happening in our life. It's not that you don't care about yourself or other people. This is a very different mindset, a very different state of consciousness that we're being called to rise to embody, to become, because we're the creators of the new reality. So if we sit here and say, I wish this was different, I would like a world of peace and harmony. I would like a world of compassion and kindness. I would like a world where we're free to go to all the sacred sites and go inside of them, even if they have to be under certain rules, that there is this synergy within everyone, that we all realize that there's no lack, that we don't have to compete, that there isn't any need for the greed, there isn't any need for the overachieving and the chasing. We all were raised, most of us were raised in those kinds of cultures. And as you rise in your own growth and you go through your own ups and downs in life, right? Your hero's journey, you go into Xibalba, you go into the underworld. So very famous in Greek mythology, a huge part of Mayan world cosmovision, 9 levels of Xibalba, 9 levels of the underworld, 13 heavens, and you're the trunk of the tree that connects the two. You're the pillar of light. So this is who we are. We've been told by the Egyptians and the carvings all over there. We've been told by the Greeks. We've been told by, the shamans and all cultures around the world that we have to remember that there's a bigger purpose for us being here, not to pay the bills, not to please everybody, not to feel safe, for whatever reason. We must feel safe because we are the ones that emanate the creation. This is a reflection. This is what I call the priest or priestess or sacred path. This is remembering, not a priest or priestess in the Catholic sense. So not where you are restricted, not where you are shut away. I'm talking about the shaman, the medicine women, the prophets, right? The wise ones, the healers, the architects, the stargazers. Look at these. I mean, there's 4,500 pyramids, they think, just where I live. You know, they get LiDAR now and they see through the jungle. And so throughout this peninsula I live on, down into Guatemala, Honduras, the Maya, and over a little bit into the mainland of Mexico, there's so many temple complexes that you couldn't even begin to figure out, you know, to excavate all of them. Why though? This is what we want to ask. Why? Why did a culture that was so wise, so advanced in their science, their technology, their spiritual technology, their ability to astral travel, their ability, they're like the Egyptians and they're, you know, all these people, the Stonehenge, like how'd they move these big stones? You know, it's bigger than that. Why? You know, why'd they pick that stone? Why'd they put it in that spot? What's happening at this time of the year, this moon, this sun, this energy in the earth in this place? Why get the stone from way over there when there's stones right here? What's in the stone that's reacting? We're just starting to excavate this information. We're just starting to remember nothing was done at these sacred sites and nothing was done in the ancients that didn't have purpose, that didn't have meaning. The Maya, the carvings you see in Egypt or here, it's just constantly giving you the guides, giving you the guidelines to what is reality, what's the structure of reality, what's this matrix that we live inside of. And it's not the matrix from there, but it's similar in that we have been living in the illusion that we came here to perpetuate and then complete. And now's the time of completion. So our stories that keep creating wounds and pain are meant to be now alchemized into our gems, into our pearls, into our gold, panning for gold. And we must reconnect to our spirit. We must make the spiritual path. You call it whatever you like. If you don't like the word spirit or spiritual, it's okay. It doesn't mean what I used to think it mean. So use your own words, to understand what we're talking about is that you're a multidimensional creator being. You came here with a purpose. You're encoded with that purpose. You have potential beyond your wildest imaginings. You haven't done anything wrong. You're in the right place at the right time on the right path. And all the ancients have been telling us that you're the hero on the hero's journey, whether it's a Greek myth of Hercules or Perseus, whether it is that sacred divine energy, the goddess Athena helping them, or somebody else sending them challenges. You have a Zen master that can be kind and loving, but most of the time is more strict and often doesn't explain, why do I have to do this? You go through it because going through the experience gives you the wisdom, the strength, the resilience in yourself. That's alchemy. So this is the time of the sacred ones or the wise ones gathering again, And this is part of Mayan prophecies. It's part of many, many prophecies. This is the time of the return. Hey, it's 12/12 of the return of the rainbow tribe through White Buffalo Calf Woman is one of those, the Lakota Sioux. And she carries the peace pipe. She brings all of us back together in unity. Since 2012, according to the Maya, we are at the state of unity. That's the ninth wave of consciousness at the top of the pyramid. That's what it represents. Well, what is up there? I've been to a lot of them. The temple on the top, most of the time, is called the Temple of the Descending God. And there's a carving on the front of a person upside down like this, coming down. That's you. That's me. We are divine. We are gods. We are creators. And we chose to come here and we made this blueprint and we knew we would be here right now. So part of the path right now is that we have to break free from the group, the collective illusion, and just commit to our own path. That's the beauty. We no longer have to worry about pleasing 8 million people. If you were a people pleaser, that was most of my life. Chasing down approval, feeling like you had to work hard and long to have success, happiness, love, money, whatever. All of these things are literally in your hands. All right. And they're in your hands because what we think, feel, and believe is what radiates out from us. And we've been doing that since the day we were born. We came with certain things, certain fears in other lives, and we wanted to alchemize them now because we're in a time when it's speeding up. Time is sped up, power sped up. Mother Nature has taken the bars off of evolution. We can go as fast as we want, as long as we don't outgrow the structure that's being laid out for us. But the first structure to get to is unity, to remember sacred balance. But we have to first go into the sacred feminine. If we do not go back and realize that we have ignored it, we have not understood it, we have suppressed it, we've made agreements and vows in other lives and in this life to not trust our intuition, to not use our imagination, to not accelerate or believe in our clairaudience or clairsentience, our ability to speak to animals, to whatever. But the ancients did this all the time. They were speaking to stars. They were speaking to other planets. They were using the stone circles in the temples, both as healing and ascension chambers, and channeling, energies from sky and earth, and all kinds of other things are going on at these places. I can tell you it's absolutely mind-boggling, but they open portals to Atlantis most of the time, and portals to Egypt. A lot of the ones here are connected to Egypt. So there's a Mayan, Egypt, Atlantis connection. It also extends to many other places because generally right now we're all kind of, our root race is Atlantis, and Atlantis is rising up to realize that Lemuria is, in essence, in general, they weren't just pure masculine, pure feminine, but that more represents the masculine, and this represents the feminine, Lemuria. And so what happens is that we are freeing the butterfly in our heart, freeing the butterfly in our chest, saying we're done with the cocoon. Okay, we've played this game long enough. And you can do that. You can say that right now. And you know what? I'm not going to repeat that pattern. I'm seeing that pattern. I'm so clear. I'm having this pattern. Wow. Thank you for showing me this pattern. Don't go in feeling mad at yourself that you had that pattern, or shocked that you were doing, because this is what's happening now. We're shedding away the layers of illusion that keep us from knowing the truth about who we truly are. We're stuck in patterns of ancestors, what we can have, outer beliefs, things we were taught. Everybody is taught inside of a culture and a family, and those are not the easiest things to break free from. So even if you are totally living your own life without your family's approval or whatever it is, there's still going to be some of those. So I was working with a client this morning and these patterns came up over the holidays with family, and she was at a place. She's like accelerated her growth since the summer. We started working together, and then she came to the retreat in the UK, which is like every retreat is like a leap. And then we've been working now. We've gone through these portals of the solstice. We've gone through this portal of the new year. We're coming very quickly towards the beginning of the fire horse year. This is fast, strong, masculine energy. It's freedom, it's strength, it's spiritual growth. It's a lot of fabulous things, but it is not what we've been used to. So we can't be easily wounded. We can't be wearing our emotions on our sleeve anymore. We have to stand up inside of ourselves and become the center of our reality, the queen or the priestess, or the authority within us, and separate completely from anybody's opinion, just filtering in what might be interesting, but everything has to go through your inner self. And this is a recommitment to who we are. This is a recommitment to the bigger level, the next level, the graduation level. We're going into graduate school, master's level or something, right? In the scope of the universe, it's evolving, and we're not going to stop it. It's pre-programmed. It's already happened. The past is already happened and happening right now. You could tune into any time in the past, go there, be there, talk to yourself, talk to someone else, see something, get something, come back. All right. There's levels of skills that the sacred ones, the medicine ones, the elders, the priests, priestesses, even the rulers in most ancient cultures had to be full-blown, super masterful spiritual guides. They had to be able to access realms, to interpret information coming through. They had to be an oracle. They could have those advisors, but they themselves, their role was not like a European king, like mine. I own all this stuff. I killed you. I took your shit. Now I'm going to protect it with a big wall and hoard it and drink a lot and eat a lot. They, and in general, not really caring about the well-being of the people. That is not the way that the ancients operated. They understood that this is very Mayan perspective, by the way, each individual inside the society had a role. Your spiritual purpose came with your Mayan birth code. So I've been doing these readings and it's blowing everybody's mind. I'm doing the Mayan destiny birth chart readings. You can get one in the shop. And what's so powerful about it is that it's not like anything you've ever done. You could know your moon sign, your sun sign, your rising sign, and all this other stuff about Western astrology. And it's completely different. And it's so wise and it's so deep and it's so right on that people are just like, I have never seen anything like this or seen from this perspective. And that's what it means to get back on your sacred path, to walk the path of the priestess. So when I say the path of the priestess, I'm not excluding men. I'm not excluding children. I'm not excluding bankers and accountants and nurses and artists. You don't have to become a priestess and wave incense around and stuff like I do. Okay. If you want to do that, or if you want to awaken those skills within you, that's fine too. But you have wisdom, you have knowledge of these other realms. You have knowledge where you can take your mastery of the physical realm now. You know how to do this world, okay? You can relax. And now you can start to have two perspectives. So part of what we did today in the session was move perspectives above, looking down from the higher self on the body, being in the crown when it's being activated, being in here as this sacred kundalini is coming, receiving the energies from the earth, and then these grandmother lineages and breathing her heart. Like all of this was, I guess you could call it like past life and an energy healing and a lineage healing and a reminder of who she is, taking exactly where she is right now to a level of being able to, see, when you see the pattern, you start to see it everywhere. So then you have to resist. When you realize your challenge, or you accept that your challenge or whatever you're doing right now is always for your highest good, to move you from where you are to where your spirit really would like you to be. So if you keep repeating a pattern that causes you to be afraid, or to pull back your voice, or to not start that business, or to not spend money on yourself, or to not, whatever it is, right? We all have done it. We all do it. So there's that aspect that you must trust yourself. You must be in flow. You have to be in the now, and you have to be in the future that you wish for. You have to have those two perspectives, because you're in the eternal now. Everything is here. That's how you find the doorway to the future you that you want to become. And then you embody it, and you believe it, and you speak it, and all that stuff that we teach in the classes, right? So this year, the Mystery School is moving into what I call, this is the rise of the everyday priestess. This is every one of us. And priestess, you don't matter if you're a dude, right? You are awakening the sacred feminine wisdom, the skills, the memories, the times you were a teacher, the times you were a student, the times that you were a master of fire, the times that you knew how to speak to caterpillars. I don't know. Okay. There's so many skills. There's so many realms. There's seers, right? Scryers, people who could look into things. Today, my client, we were told like 4 of her names in different lives. One of them, she was a fortune teller, but immediately came from the lineage of having been a prophet, and then a lineage of women prophetesses. that was just passed on in the DNA. And it manifested in the life in different ways. So as a fortune teller, depending on that life, when it was, could have been revered if it was an oracle in Delphi, highly paid, or it could have been like a gypsy, seen as bad, immoral, kicked out of town, poor. There's the whole continuum of everything. And we're becoming reunited with all those aspects of us. So the minute we stop and say, no, I'm ready to recommit to my mission, my purpose, to understand what I am here for truly, and to accept everything about me, now is the time moving into fire. And why is it important to remember wisdom of fire, magic of fire, communication with fire, uses of fire? Physically, yes, have a fire ceremony, burn all of your stuff, your emotions, burn lots of herbs, burn tons and tons. We burned so much copal the other day because I left the room and it kept going. And I came back like an hour later and the whole room Chris was just sitting here. And I was like, wow, you had a hell of a cleanse there, dude. Awesome. It doesn't ever hurt anybody or set off fire alarms or anything. It's sacred smoke. So, but there's mysteries of the fire, like any element. And in order to understand the fire, we have to understand and call in water and air and earth. And if we're focusing on all those cardinal points, we have to call in and acknowledge that we live in a universe that it's not a flat earth, but there are 4 points to the surface structure we live in. So some like in the Hindu, they call them the gateways or the guardians. And then you have, you call in the color or the water, the element, the energy, so in the Celtic tradition that I spent over 16 years in leading ceremonies and raising my children in. And it was so beautiful. It's very nature-based, like Native American. And, we would call in the directions by calling like north, but we would say earth, north related to earth. Now, every tradition is different. The Maya are different, which directions they call, the colors and what they do. But when you start to realize that, and then you have respect for your space, it's the same thing as walking consciously, looking around you, realizing that nature is speaking and it's showing you life. And are you paying attention, or are you absorbed in your head? Oh, I got to get that done. Oh, I should have done that. I wonder if this is going to work out. What if I don't have enough money? Oh, I'm so happy. I don't want to do anything. Like whatever it is, we have to become conscious to walk not just in 2 worlds, but many, and to be able to shift our perspective up and out of us into our heart, right? Into whatever part of our body might be speaking to us. And this is what we would call the path of a healer or a seer or an herbalist or a homeopath. Telepathy is actually normal for us. It's part of our structure, the way our nervous system is, okay? So we have a structure just kind of like the nervous system that's a telepathic structure. And we've ignored it for so long that as we're awakening it, it can either feel freaky weird, or it can feel overwhelming, or it can be too subtle, or there can be a disconnect. So the things that this year are going to be very important is raising, giving permission to, nurturing, nourishing, loving, allowing to come up from the shadows and the deep and the fears and the past and wherever they may be hiding, known and unknown. Those things that have feared your power, your clairvoyance, or your ability to create magic, or to speak to the ancestors, or to see energies, or to work with trees, or to travel, astral travel, or do shamanic work, use vibration, color as healing. You're seeing all of these modalities start to come back again in different ways. I've been doing over 40 years now. I've been doing frequency medicine with instruments. Okay, nobody heard of this stuff back then in the US anyway, really barely. So this is a birth. And if you birth in confusion, in uncertainty, if you birth yourself into this year and light yourself on fire and start going really fast with your strength, you're going to be given the strength of the horse, the nobility of the horse. I used to look at these horses in these tiny little pens, and I worked with animals in my early spiritual years, awakening, and I was working with them physically, taking care of them. And there were more horses and dogs than people, and it was all dirt roads. And I took care of llamas and buffalo and snakes and geese and all kinds of things. And it was good because I needed a healing. My business, my fashion design business, had crashed, and it was the end of the 80s. Everybody went bankrupt. Nobody paid me. I didn't know people didn't pay their bills. And it was a deconstruction of my concept of myself, of my reality. Now it's the greatest thing that ever happened. Not just because it got me on my spiritual path, because I had to look around and go, well, what the hell do I do now? I don't even know what to do. Right? Like literally everything I was taught, work hard, do this, blah, 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 chase it, make it happen. And I was good at making it happen. I was good at working really hard, and I was good at sacrificing myself. And I did. I put everything back into the business, and then it closed. Nobody paid me. And then I sat there with all this, like, what do I do now? And so it opened me. It cracked my shell of being on the hamster wheel of conditioning, being on that. Now it's very, very obvious. This was quite a while ago, right? I don't even want to think about how long. Now we are much more aware that we're stuck in this reality, that we're stuck on these old patterns, that we have traumas that keep telling us, no, it's not safe, that we have to become safe in our bodies, that we have to become safe, owning our powers, allowing our skills to rise to the surface. And the only way that can happen is you intentionally saying, yes, I'm ready. I'm here. Let's make this happen. I know I can do it. Open it in the optimal way for my soul. And I'm ready to commit to my path again, to remember my purpose and my mission. And I don't necessarily know it. I think I know it. I have a few things that I like. I'm ready to listen to my heart. I'm ready to listen to my bliss, because that is the current of information that I know how to read, because I've been a priestess, a priest, a healer, a wise person, a medicine person, a stargazer, a tracker, a prophet. I've been an oracle. I've been on other planets. I've done all of it. It's all inside of me, and it's all rising to the surface now. Everything that I need, everything that has been with me, that is of benefit for me right now, in the perfect timing, in the perfect flow. Let it unfold within me. Let it unfold in every beautiful possible way, opening doors, synchronicities, harmony, peace, beauty, helpful people, wonderful experiences. The more I go, yes, I love that. I would love more of that. Thank you for this. I love this. More of this, please. And then I see myself there and I feel myself there. You are being the imagination. You are being the director, the actor, the writer, the creator of your life, and you have to be. So our imagination is the number one thing that has been so stolen from us. It is your power. It is your staff. It is your wand. Once you take your ability to meditate, your understanding of energies, if you've learned how to do Reiki, or how to do, if you channel, or all these things, fantastic. However, have you been able to expand your capacity to raise your frequency, to receive the solar flares that are coming in right now? They're codes. And if we're at a high enough frequency, they're going to come to us. But like a poisonous snake or a poison bug, the frequency of the venom, the frequency of the energy, the frequency of the solar flare, the frequency of some of these things, like the comet that went over and showered us with this blue-green light that was put there exactly to come in exactly that day and exactly that moment to help us connect the earth and the sky, to remember we're the conduit between the two. So the idea is that when you are, I'm just going to say priestess, but you understand we're talking about everybody. When you say, okay, I'm going to be a priestess again, it means you're not going to identify as your role as the mother or the accountant, the father or the son, whatever, all the different roles you play, right? You're not going to identify with your money, your bank account, your struggle with money, your money story, your family had money, they don't have money, you get it, you don't get it, it's easy to get, it's not easy to get, whatever. Like, you don't identify with any of that. And you step out of that That's the personality, the characteristics, the egoic characteristics, of which some are fine, but the ego does have an addiction. So it's constantly feeding you mostly negative, and that can be reprogrammed. That can be cleansed, that can be rewired, that can be spoken to, that can be conjured up. That life that caused that fear. I had a very deep fear of speaking to anybody. I did. And I can't believe that I do this now, that I just show up and channel whatever wants to come through. But it was because I couldn't do it. It was because I brought all those fears, all those lifetimes of being killed, of being accused, of being criticized, of being ridiculed, of being outcast, of being excommunicated, of being beheaded. And I didn't know those consciously, but that was the energy was in me from day one. I'm not good enough. They'll find out and they'll kick me out. And then I'll die alone in the forest. That's one of my lives where I froze to death, kicked out of the village. And then you have them. Do you need to know them? Sometimes they're very important to know, but they'll come forward. You don't need to know all of them. However, if you understand the structure of reality and the structure of time and the sacred symbols that create portals or create healing or create bridges in time that bring you and open you to the optimal energies that can heal. This is what a priestess path is, that you don't have to become a healer to be healing for yourself, because you're the one that calls, conjures, attracts, magnetizes, draws up from within you. All right. Whatever it is that you then experience. Now, before we dive deeper into this, because there's a lot of lineages of sacred women and priestesses that want to speak today. And I know that we're following our bliss this year. I know that we have to reawaken our imagination. So in the Sacred Magic Mystery School, we're going deep into the mystic arts of the sacred feminine, and we're going to be using the Mayan, the Egyptian, the Celtic. Excuse me, we'll dip into the Greek, into the Native American, Lakota Sioux, and a few others. But those three there are going to bring us the most powerful portal to see through, because they are woven into our very structure of the earth, the cycles, the universe, and beyond. Okay, the wisdom that they had was similar and yet different perspectives. So some things will awaken within you because you see the Egyptian thing and you resonate and you understand the Ankh, or you understand Sekhmet. You can understand having that lion within you that wants to roar. But the lion is funny, because these goddesses that are said to be vicious and to be warring goddesses are not. They're empowered sacred feminine. Do we know what that is? No. That's what we're going to explore. So we're going to go in this year and we're going to awaken and release and softly and gently align to what's optimal to each of us in the most beautiful possible way. Reawaken our wisdom of magic, of alchemy, of symbols, of interpretation of symbols and languages and dreams and light languages, of communicating through animal spirits, elementals, celestials, goddesses, so on. And being a priestess, a sacred person, a wise one now, means that you've agreed to be in a body, to remember your divine, to have your own unique purpose and path, yet completely supported by, aligned with all of these energies that are here to guide you, to help you, to support you. You have within your blueprint all the things that you need. And if you start to use your power to speak your reality, to just say, yeah, I'm just going to pretend that it's really so friggin' literal that I have to pay attention to what I say, what I think, and what I feel. Otherwise, I am creating positively with my mind, but cutting it off with the way I feel, right? If I'm like, yes, this is the best year ever. Yes, this is going to be the year that I feel happy, that I'm confident in myself with calm ease, that I walk, that, whatever is optimal for me flows to me through grace, through ease, in the infinite intelligence is guiding my every step. I trust that I have within me at every moment and place in time. There'll be whatever I need. I don't need to worry. I just keep following that inner voice. I keep listening to the animals. I keep listening to the moon. I keep listening to my inner voice, not my fear voice, not my ego voice. I take that. I say thank you. I take every challenge in front of me or every perceived failure or loss in front of me, and I bring it in. I welcome it no different than I would welcome a kiss or a hug or a gem or a mug of hot cocoa. I would welcome it with grace and love and ease because everything has power. The dark and the light, the shadow. What we've hid in our shadows is the 9 levels of Shibalba. So what we're going to do this year is see that those are the trials of life that give you your powers, that wake you up, that you don't buy into what you were told and conditioned, that everybody else gets to tell you what to do, that you're not safe doing your own thing, that you're weird, that you're unusual, that you have to fit in, that if you don't do this, so on. Yes, it's pretty interesting path to take. Maybe people won't like you. Maybe your family will disown you. Maybe you'll lose some money. Maybe you'll gain some money. Maybe you'll flounder for a while and feel alone. This is the path. It's okay because everyone is here. And that's why the path of the priestess is to commit to your spiritual path above all other things. To say, I will look within. I will listen within. I will find myself. I will self-realize. I will find the skills. I will pay attention to, wow, I love sacred symbols. I love chants. I want to chant to sacred symbols now and see what it does. That vibrational healing. What is it opening? I want to understand my light body structure better. I can feel this movement. What does it mean? I want to interpret these symbols. I want to be an oracle. I know I was a seer. I would be wonderful if I had more certainty. Well, guess what? Those skills are already within you. And in the past, people, even when they believed in it and they trusted it and they all were like, yes, yes, you're meant to be a little shaman. You're meant to be a little priestess. Go to school from age 1 or something. You don't need anyone else's permission. What you need is your own permission to let go of the path of who you were, who you thought you were, what you thought you needed. And if you don't do it now, if you don't receive it now, if you don't say, okay, I'm ready to shed the rest of it, I'm ready to rise like the Kundalini out of my inner blueprint, that super beautiful crystal, I've shed now, I'm rising from the earth, I'm coming up in my body, I'm embodying my body, I'm embodying my wisdom, I'm opening my chakras, I'm opening my inner eye, I'm going to do this sacred work. This isn't 80 years or you have to belong to 400 societies. You come with me, we walk the path in practicality and deep spiritual wisdom. We're remembering it and reawakening it within you. All right. So as you go through your day today, think about that. What is happening around me? What is it saying to me? How is it reflecting to me? The breeze that just came by and made me remember when I was a child, the smell, the ice cream truck that went by and I just let go. Did I just ignore it or did I stop and take a moment and breathe it? Did I feel the sunlight on my forehead, bathing me in golden spiritual sunlight and say, thank you. Breathe it in. Ask it to saturate all of my 33 vertebrae, filling me up with divine golden sunlight, bathing me all the way down into the earth and gifting it out with my breath out. How long did that take? Not even a minute. Not even a minute. So the ancients went to school. They were trained a certain way to think from who you are, not from who someone else told you. So we all were infused with desires, or we were told what would make us good enough or worthy enough. Have this type of position, this type of house, this type of job, this type of money, this type of savings, this type of whatever. So it just depends on what your family valued. Maybe you come from a family that really valued giving back, giving to charities, donating your time. Maybe you joined Greenpeace. Now there's an evolution of it's time for you to take care of yourself because you're giving to others too much, and find a balance between the two. Find a way to use that power, that desire of your heart in a new lens Now, maybe you were raised with achieve, achieve, achieve. Are you making enough money? Do you have a bigger house? There is much more of that common in the US anyway, to judge your success or your safety, because parents want us to be safe usually, right? And we have to detach from all of that. Doesn't mean we don't have it. It doesn't mean we have to suffer. It doesn't mean we have to live in the forest on nothing. And we might sometimes. You might lose everything. I've done it many, many times. It's a shamanic initiation. It's an accelerated leap. When you are freed of something, you aren't losing it, you are liberated. When you have people separate from your life, you are not failing at a relationship. You're rising to a higher state of consciousness, which they cannot follow you to unless they shift. You love them, but you love yourself more. You do not hold yourself back in order to please others and keep them happy, because they're a shadow illusion of you. So now you're trying to please the illusion in the mirror. This is the kind of wisdom and vision that the priestess path, committing to your spiritual awakening, to the spiritual technology that is within you, to remembering these things, to using them on a daily basis. This is where we're headed, and this is what's available to us as these energies awaken. We're supported by every cosmic event, every eclipse, everything that's happening. We are so dramatically supported to go to the next level. But remember, it's like being on an elevator. It's going up. The evolution is already coded. It's happening. We're standing here, and we're focused into this moment in time instead of 1840 or the 1200s or sometime in the future. Our consciousness chose this moment to be focused into. So be here now. Be here now. Everything you need is here now. You're encoded, and it's not that you have to drag your wounds with you, but dragging your wounds with you has made you strong. So get the gifts from it. Give the rest of it to Mother Earth. She'll compost it. All right. Now you work with these powers. You work with the moons. You work with the winds. You work with Mother Earth. You work with Father Sky. You work with these energies, not because you're superstitious and you think that they'll just magically rescue you and fix your life, but because they're essences of power and love and healing and wisdom and medicine that are available to you. There is a veritable endless supply. If you decide what you want and how it feels, and you think it, and you embody it, and you radiate it, and here's the secret. As you do this path, as you remember, you'll have bursts of awakening, especially if you go to retreats, and then you'll integrate, and then you'll have rest time, and you'll feel kind of frustrated. I'm not getting anything done. And then you'll have whole new awarenesses awaken, and then you'll notice that you're not even bothered anymore by this thing that used to really upset you. And then you start to see patterns you had, and you see, wow, I'm not even attached to that anymore. Look at how much that limited me. And well, gosh, if I had that and I didn't know, then I'm sure there's something else. But it's okay, because I'm on the spiral path of time. The priestess path means you understand that time is moving. It's a spiral, but that you can move through it, that you can become one with light. You can become one with water. You can become one with fire. And these elements have such deep power that goes esoterically, metaphysically, and spiritually, and then communicating. But remember, the fire year is purifying. Nothing survives the fire except the ashes. It's the year of the phoenix. We are going to rise from the ashes, but first we have to allow the fire within us. We have to reclaim the power of the fire, the wisdom of the fire. We have to get rid of our fear of the fire. The fire was used against us. We were burned at the stake. We were threatened with fire. We were fired. Isn't that interesting? We use that word when you make somebody leave their job and stop paying them, and it's usually associated with shame, right? It happens to liberate you. It happens because Spirit's saying, come on, it's time to move on. We got better things for you. Stop staying in this loop. We need to move. You got what you need here. Let's move on. And a lot of things are that way. Relationships, how you see yourself, what you want to do, where you want to live. You need to surrender. Go on that path. Let your inner self lead you and guide you. And whatever thing, channeling, communicating with animal spirits, we're going to go into each of these in a very sacred way, through the symbols, through the chants, through calling the directions, through activating our light body, through sacred pathways portals that open to each of these wisdoms. Let them come in, let them reawaken, let them trigger the memory and nourish it, because it's been cut off, it's been dried up, it's been dehydrated, it's been in hiding. And so there's this process, like somebody coming out of a coma and having to learn to walk again, talk again, use their body again, because it's just been laying there. We're coming out of living from such a challenging illusion of a lot of pain, a lot of abuse, and a lot of fear that we've assigned our power outside of us. You're going to be taking your power back. Sometimes it won't be easy and it won't be pretty when you notice, I've given my power to my parents. I've given my power to the government. I'm afraid of the IRS. I'm terrified of money. I don't want money, but I want money. I wish I had money, but I am afraid I'm not going to handle money well. We have this very convoluted, very confused landscape, and none of it is true. It's all the past. It's all an illusion. And now is the time for us to take it and put it in a little bowl and say, I am here as a creator of the new reality. I'm coming back onto my path. I'm remembering the truth of who I am. Whatever skills, whatever lives, whatever knowledge, whatever tradition, whatever culture, whether it's Atlantis or Lemuria or Peru, whether it's Eskimos, whether it's Greece, Rome, doesn't matter. Those things are all available to me. And I am not alone, and I am not uncertain, because I don't need to know how. I need to embody that I am in the future. Now, most important thing before we dive in a little deeper, one of the most confusing things, I love to teach manifestation. I love to teach how to not just pay attention to your thoughts or your words, yes, but you have to go deeper, and then you have to stand inside yourself, and you have to heal the body energetically, emotionally, with your aura, with your mind, with your all the levels of your being, because you cannot carry a big, heavy emotional burden like I'm never good enough or something into this higher frequencies of being a seer or a high priestess and an oracle at Delphi. Right? You have to be a clear and open channel. And what that means is that we're the ones that are committed to becoming that clear and open channel. We're committed to ourself by going in, clearing, cleansing, becoming a channel of light, listening to our own inner voice. Now that goes out, gives other people permission to do the same. Now we are generating an overflowing abundance in every form. We are the role model of prosperity. We're the role model of happiness. We're the role model of using these skills responsibly, lovingly, and they're never used for greed, even though we're thinking of ourselves, because we are the creator. We have to take care of ourselves and then overflow. I love myself, and then it flows out. Everyone around me loves themselves. Imagine that. Imagine if everyone who came into your reality loved themselves, not like an egomaniac, which we see now, but literally calmly, harmoniously. Hello, how are you today? I'm wonderful. I'm so glad. Isn't it wonderful right now? I know we're living in the most amazing times. Have a beautiful and joyous day. You too. Authentic connections, because you feel safe in your body. So we're going to do those things that somatically and spiritually and emotionally and in your past lives that run away and have fears can unburden your spiritual blueprint and let those things rise in your memory. Everything around you in reality right now is your projection. It's a mirror. We call it the obsidian mirror, the Maya cosmology, because obsidian, you can see through. It's volcanic glass, but it's black. And it's called the smoking mirror because you see the illusions of what you've created. And everything outside of you is a reflection of something that you've said, agreed to, believed, done, or felt. However, you're always seeing the past. So if you get frustrated, this is something that we all do or have done, and it's really important for reclaiming your power. So listen carefully. You've got to start to realize, I'm here in the eternal now. I have everything. It's already done. Now, I'm connecting to that perceived future self that has the baby, has the house, is healed, is happy, is on the retreat, whatever it is, right? You're feeling that. But first, you're feeling the joy, the bliss, the state that it would do. Why would it bring bliss to you? What would feeling bliss do? Why would it make you feel more free? Why would it make sense of your life? What would it be great if you went on this retreat and then your heart opened and then you understood yourself better and you were no longer bothered by the things that happened in the past, and you didn't blame anybody that hurt you, and you felt safe expressing yourself, and you knew exactly what you wanted to do next, and you let it unfold. That's a gift of finding a treasure way beyond anything you can imagine. So our job is in here, because once you do that, you're like, wow, life is amazing. Then the reflection is going to begin to come back to you that life is amazing. But if it doesn't happen in 1 day, 1 hour, 1 minute, 3 days, 3 years, you can't say, oh, well, it didn't work. And do what? Go back to just feeling sorry for yourself, talking lack, waiting for someone to rescue you, blaming everybody else, living in shame and guilt, living in fear and worry. Those states don't carry any creativity. They are states of disease. They are states of deconstruction. And this deconstruction is eating your life force. It is not dissolving the pain that's holding you back or the shackles. It is dissolving your life force, your essence, and your strength. So the awareness of a sacred person, a wise one, is you don't know everything, and you know that you don't know everything, and you're okay with that. You're on your path. You're here. You're now. You're in the right place at the right time. You're ready to remember. You trust that what you need is within you, that it will come up. And your job is to keep saying, I'm the one here receiving. If I leave and go chase something over there, then who's here to receive when what I've been asking for shows up? Right? So there's so much, but this is something we're going to really walk through in every level of our being, is how do you be in the eternal now? And in the so-called future that you're choosing, the timeline you're moving to, manifesting, and realizing that what is going on around you all day long is 98, 99% your past beliefs. So you are living in the reflection of your past. Don't judge it as a proof or a result or an effect. It is a effect of the past you. You have to see it, live in it, handle it, and not believe it. This is the power. Then you know how to do this. And then you live in your heart. And then the now, wow, everything I need is here. Isn't life wonderful? Look at that. This is happening. Wow, this doesn't feel so good. There must be a beautiful reason for this. Thank you for this. And so on. And then you really become the master manifester, because you're not waiting for proof. You're not saying, when I see it, I'll believe it. You're going to believe it and see it, and feel it and imagine it until it is what you're doing, and it is solid, and it is in your reality, because all you're doing is shifting your focus from this is already done to that's already done. There's a blue chair over here and you're tired of the blue chair. There's a red chair over there. It's already ready. It's already done. You just go, I don't want a blue chair anymore. I'm going to stop seeing the blue chair. I'm going to start imagining myself sitting in a red chair, loving the red chair, the vibration of the red. What's it bringing me? Strength. It's absorbing my anger. It's releasing this. It's connecting me to that. It's protecting my solar plexus. Whatever. Why do you love it? It reminds me of roses. Mary Magdalene is here, right? Whatever. You start to go, wow, 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 wow. And pretty soon, that chair still exists, but not in your reality, because you're the master of energy, you're a master of physics, you're a master of alchemy, you're a master of magic. You are already, you've created everything around you. And now the red chair, you've been saying, I'm calling the red chair. I feel the red chair. I'm ready for the red chair. Deliver the red chair. And that red chair is going to rise. Who knows how it's going to come? Someone's going to give you a red chair. You're going to walk by and see a red chair on sale. I don't know. This is a metaphor, of course, for whatever you have now, the fear or the lack or whatever you don't want. And what you do want, it's already there. When you walk as a wise one, when you agree you are being responsible for your thoughts, for your step on the earth, for the energy that you're giving the earth, that you're putting out. Are you overflowing your frustration because you don't have what you want on everyone around you? Are you being polite to everybody and then getting in your car and crying or being upset because someone hurt your feelings, or they're not doing what you think they should, or you're frustrated that you don't have something they have? These are all attachments to lack and to conditioning. Don't worry about it. They're just a state, and you are the master of your energy. Okay. Hi, let's see. Hi, Ted. Absolutely incredible. I'm struck how all of these horrible experiences are gifts in retrospect. Yes, to freedom that you have. I honor you and how you own your higher destiny and love. Well, thank you. And that's part of the path, right? That's part of becoming a teacher. I didn't think I was a teacher. I was like, I can't teach. I can barely talk to people, you know? I didn't have 1 ounce of self-worth. I couldn't talk to a single person. I'd walk around a store for an hour before asking for a toilet. I mean, how was I going to teach or speak or whatever? No, it's an evolution of going through those challenges, but knowing that we're the hero, we're the heroine, and it's designed for us to go through to have the magical things. You know, there's Athena, there's the magic sword, there's the code that comes through the thing, there's the magical wizard that shows up. Like, what manifests along your path of the hero's journey? Because when we understand the hero's journey, what do? You leave your ordinary reality. First, you meet the magical people who give you clues and ideas and open your mind. And then you go deep into yourself and you start going deeper into yourself. And then you go in the shadow and you fight your demons and you fear and you give up and you die. And then you come back to life and you say, no, I'm not going to give up. And then you try to come out of the shadow world and you're chased out of the shadow world by your demons, right? If you know the cycle of the hero's journey. And the cycle of the hero's journey is us. We go through these cycles. You might be going through that cycle at work, but not in love life. You might be going through that cycle with your body, but not necessarily at your job, right? You might be going through that cycle in every area of your life. Everything is falling apart, like my divorce. So I was married 25 years. I went through 3.5-year divorce. I went from owning 80 properties to owning nothing to being homeless and going through a bankruptcy. And, you know, it's epic. I came clearly to have these massive successes and these massive breakdowns. And all these things, of course, didn't have to be that way, but they were a reflection of me. And I wasn't aware enough at the time to understand that the doorway was there. So I was finding it. I went on my spiritual path. I'm like, how do I channel dolphins from another planet? And I don't want anything to do with Christianity. And, you know, like I went through all these things. I went through opening those doors. And then I don't know if you've had this happen, or if you do have this happen, it is not the end of the world. It is a challenge, but it is a really powerful invitation because we are in the year of the fire. So who knows what's going to happen? When you reach a new level of comfort, then everything falls apart again. And then you shed again, and then you shed again. So this last year we were shedding in a very earthy, woody way. It was a wood snake in the Chinese astrology. The snake is a very earth animal, and it's a feminine animal, and we're rising that kundalini. This was to help us shed the layers in our bodies so we can embody our bodies and we can feel our bodies and feel safe in our bodies so we can receive more energy in our bodies and more communication and more manifestation and more flow. And then we're a part of the flow, and I'm giving and taking and expecting it to be there, but not from ego. And spirit is supporting me because I'm being more myself. I'm being more on my path. I'm doing more myself. But your path, your spirit path, is never to be mean to people. You may have to not see people in your life. You will just not vibrate because they are stuck at a vibrational level of criticism or abuse or anger or shame or blame or something that you just have risen above and you don't feel resonant with anymore. It is, you can see it's not serving you, and that's okay. It's not their fault. Don't make them wrong, but be willing, because the breakdowns are who we thought we were, who we're friends with, where we live, what we do. We are on a spiral that's evolving. So we have this blessing to get to do this. After nearly a quarter of a century of working for a tribal indigenous college, I got fired. Wow. I know it was a gift, but it was painful. Oh, so painful. I completely understand, Ted. I'm so sorry. And I'm so happy. So I used to tell people, they would say, my life's falling apart. You know, my wife left me. I lost my job. This is happening. And I'd say, congratulations. So I mean that not in a mean or rude way. It means you're a very powerful spiritual being. And what you have done is opened yourself up to become whatever's next. And so that time there is done. Right? It's over. And you could look back and try to pick it apart if you want. And, you know, you could have some different readings that might tell you, well, you could have left earlier. There were signs there that you knew it was time to move on, but you were hesitant or you were waiting or who knows what. All that matters is now, right? So you were liberated. And I find that realized that now while we were talking. Fired. Isn't that interesting? Fired. But you remember that fire is purifier. You can't pollute fire. So then we are going to learn how we're a cycle. We're in a constant cycle. We are eternal. My new book that I'm writing, it's called The Eternal Ones. It's about Mayan mysteries and magic and how they use different energies and cosmovision and perspectives. And it's like the eternal ones because they understood that we're in cycles. And that's what prophets do, you know. So I used to be a college teacher. Then I went blind. Oh my, and I've talked to you before. Yes. Oh my gosh. Hi, sweetie. Oh, I'm so glad I learned that all these dark nights are gifts if we choose to stand in the fire and be transformed in love. Yes, yes. And bless you. Like, you know, that's a seriously deep dive. We all have these different things. And yet the key is to see the abundance. Please forgive me if that feels offensive to some people. Talk to you, dear Ted, right now and say, to see the abundance, no matter where you are standing. It's an energetic thing, right? It's an energetic thing because we are being, and then what we believe then manifests for us. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time, but the spirit was helping you to develop senses. So you probably know, Ted, about the name will come back to me in a minute. I think they're from Guatemala. There's a particular tribe where they identify the seers when they are born and they put them in the dark world. They keep them somewhere. I mean, it's not inhumane, but they grow up with no light because their job is to awaken their other senses at a level that none of us could while we're doing this, or if we're first trained through this. It's very extreme, and to most of us it sounds, yet if you see, I think around age 16 they come out and they become these powerful healers because they are seers. They are seers. My client who lives in Glastonbury and volunteers at the well, the White Springs, we go there, we do private access there. We're going to go back again in September. And she said that one of these healers that did this came and they rented privately the springs, and she got to be the caretaker of the springs while they were there. And he did some different things. He did some healing on a particular woman, maybe another person. And then he did his own thing in the springs and everything. But she was telling me, you know, energetically, how did it feel to be around someone like that and to look at someone like that? We don't have to commit to the priestess path quite to that degree. But if you feel called to whatever it is you're doing, you might. There's people who were called to Guatemala and stumbled across a village just as a hitchhiker, right? And then met their Mayan wisdom elder teacher and spent 26 years there. They didn't have a clue that's what their destiny was, right? There may be something that you will enter, that you will embody very deeply for a while. I didn't know I was going to stay in Mexico. I didn't know 10 years later I would be living over here, working with the Maya, starting projects to preserve the wisdom of the Maya, knowing as much as I do. In a couple of weeks, I'm taking someone on a private pilgrimage for a week, designing to different sites, talking to the spirit guides, going into the caves, bringing together the different ceremonies and energies just for her and her transition. And I've done things like that before, but I didn't know the connection I was going to have to the Maya, and then how that was going to open up all the work I did with the Egyptians and then the Celtics and so on, and bring this together. So we're all in this beautiful awakening of our unique senses to awaken our special medicine. So all of us. And so, oh, you're so welcome. Oh, good. Oh, you don't have to going fast. Don't worry about going fast enough. You go, every one of us has to stop doing that, you know, trying to go faster, trying to chase, trying to be good enough. I spent, oh my gosh, my whole life. I still, you know, spirit is being very, very, very strong with me this last year? What do I have to do to go to the next level? What do I have to do to shed? What do I have to find within me? What is my self-realization to be a more powerful channel of light? And it's unequivocally required. And I don't want it any other way, of course, because here we go. I guess this is it. I don't want it any other way, because what's happened is that we have within us all of these things, and it's a memory. So the more I trust my spirit, the easier it is, because I have a sense that everything is for me, that I'm feeling that love a little bit. Excuse me. Oh, I think I turned off the volume before I sneezed. I'm going to take a sip. Okay, so we're going to have a series of these where we keep we haven't had, it was all coming through in a different way. So we'll see what else wants to come through today, but we're going to have a series of talking to these. The full moon show, which I hope you'll take a look at, had a lot of really beautiful information come through of the kinds of things we're meant to do this year. So you can pick up tips for yourself if you want to, work with me in the school or the classes as they come out. Wonderful. Then we're going to be having this coming up pretty soon before the 16th. And this is White Buffalo Calf Woman. I was trained by a Lakota Sioux shaman in New Mexico. Kind of strange, because that's not really where they're from, but I grew up in the Midwest and I had great deep memories. And so the Rainbow Tribe is coming together. That's all of us coming back into our own, accessing everything within us, and then coming together, so that the age of Aquarius is about all of us individually coming together, not limiting any one person, letting each one of us be that profound individual that we're meant to be. So this coming Sunday, please join me. This is 50% off right now. We're going to do a workshop for a few hours. We're going to use the Prosperity Magic Oracle deck. We're going to work with the Grandmother Dreamweavers. We're going to go into 3 new, completely different ways to use being an oracle. And you don't have to have the deck. We'll show you anything we do. But this is understanding that your inner prophet, that ability to prophetize your own life, has to come forward. So we're going to go into several things. If you go to the shop, you can see specifics about what we're going to do, and it's online. And if you can't come live, we give you always the replay for as long as you would like. It's very powerful right now, because we have to remember that we are receiving these messages all the time. And if we're not paying attention, if we're not decoding them, if we're not understanding that there's a higher level for us to receive them, if we're not awakening our senses at that level, we're missing a lot of support, a lot of guidance, a lot of help. And it's really, as the faster we go, the more we want to be tuned into that too. So also, let's get together. Come and join our last few spots for the beautiful Mayan Atlantis pyramid portals. This is going to be mind-blowing, with the beautiful Maria bringing her new torsion field equipment. We're going to be measuring the fields. We're going to be doing sacred access with Miguel Angel. And this is a show I highly recommend. She was talking about some of the new things. So that is not what I was looking for. So I guess there's nothing else here. Let me just go again and see. So what is then, we'll just drop into this. It's not interesting at all. It's not coming through very well. No, I guess not. All right. I wonder if she made a new slides for me, because it's hang on a second. There may be a whole new slideshow because it's 2026. Yep. Oh, good for you, Donna. You're so great. Okay, let's do this now. Okay. Just want to see what we said. There you are. Okay, I don't have permission for the slides. Okay, so let's go ahead and just see. I know that a lot of what's coming forward, I just finished an article for Awaken Magazine. It'll come out in a couple of weeks about the year of the Phoenix, the vibration of the Phoenix, the idea that we're here. And, oh, okay, that's a good idea. We'll do that. Okay, we're going to go look at, I'm going to go open that for you. I think that would be very fun. There it is. Okay, I need the link. So this article, I channel through, I just channel a lot of information and then start organizing it and seeing the different themes that are coming up that are important. So this is the Phoenix alchemy and rising from the ashes as the illusion that kept humanity small burns away. So that is pretty much what we're doing. Let's go ahead and look at that. Let me come back over here, StreamYard. Okay, good. I will share that. Oh, that's right. No, I didn't open that. All right, hang on. Okay, now I got it. There we go. Okay, so you're just seeing my article, and it'll come out pretty soon. So let's go ahead and we'll just start to breathe in to the sacred moment, to this new year, to the sacred serpent that has guided us through the earth, through the releasing, through the transition, through all of the things that have risen, fallen away, and begun to sprout for this year. Those parts of me that I've peeled the layers away, those parts of me that I've rediscovered, those parts I know I've rediscovered and uncovered, those parts I don't know. Thank you for everything. Thank you, 2025. I honor and respect this sacred moment with great, deep reverence because here, today, now, I am deeply, deeply present to how powerful this moment is, to how sacred my path is. I don't and I do at the same moment know the importance, the value, the immense bliss that comes with who I am, what I came here to become and to become and to become. Take a deep breath in. I acknowledge this sacred infinity healing chamber all around me. Thank you to the gold and silver, masculine and feminine light. Breathe out, releasing all the tension in the body, all the blocks, perceived entanglements. Let everything melt, flow away. And breathing in now from the heart of the earth, allow her to send up and around you a sacred light. Your light is a color just for you. Let it bathe you, pour through your body, your aura, your mind, your emotional field, saturating the bones, the blood, the eyes, all the way up, awakening the inner eye, opening the crown, pouring into the soul star, up, 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 higher and higher, into the galactic goddess. Relax, let the breath go. Allow yourself to be here now. Your 13th chakra. You are the Osh Lahun. Osh Lahun Tiku. This is your divine, sacred, feminine, unconditional love, accelerated healing, everything that is possible. This is encoded within you. You sit now in this sacred space. What does it feel like? Are you sitting on a lotus, a rug, a cloud, air? Are you in the dark, in the sky, in the mists, in a cave, nowhere? How old are you? What do you feel up here in your divine sacred feminine? It's time to play with fire again. There comes a moment, quiet, undeniable, sacred, when the soul whispers, enough waiting. And softly breathe, and we call on the lineages of the priestesses, all of the sacred ones, the wise one, the medicine men, the women of midwives and healing, those of the chants and the sacred music and the sound healing, and those that were stargazers, and those that spoke to the earth and the caves, those that spoke to the fae, those that spoke to the moon, those that created magic, beauty, wisdom, healing, all of these things in co-creation. We call now. I am here. I enter this year. I have shed the illusions that have held me back. I have completed the agreements and the contracts. I am ready. I'm not waiting on the threshold. I'm not waiting in the doorstep. Enough waiting. Ahead of you is fire. What do you see? Candles, fireplaces, bonfires, forest fires, a tiny light. Do you see the glow of a soul or an essence? Do you see the soul or sun? The disc on your head, your 12th chakra, the solar disc, the great central sun chakra. Do you see the fire in your belly, that passion to become, to live, to make a difference, to speak, to create, to break free of your prison, to be free of believing in lack, let go of karma? There is no debt. I have no debt. I do not agree to debt anymore. I am an abundant, divine, flowing energy, essence, beloved of the universe. Everything is here with me, for me, to support me, help me. Like a beautiful and loving mother watching over me. As I play, I feel safe. I reach out. I go a little further. I experiment. I try. I climb. I fall. The loving, divine mother. The energies of all abundance, healing, eternal life around you. Now make a declaration in your heart. No more waiting. I heal now. My healing is now. My healing has passed. My healing is so natural to me. It is done. It is over. Oh, that? Yes, that was great. It's over. It's done. I feel great. My healing is done. No more waiting. to be ready. No more waiting for others to agree, to say they're sorry, to complete their path. No more waiting to make more money. No more waiting for the next change in government. No more waiting for people to be ready for me to change. It's time now for me. Now you walk forward. You walk towards the fire, towards the flame. You declare in your heart, I am not waiting for permission. I am embodied permission. I am here in a body because I have permission from divine. I am not waiting for anyone to change, for the world to change. I'm not waiting to fix, to heal, to listen, to learn. There is nothing outside of me that I need. Walk into the flame. Feel it around you, the violet flame, the blue flame, the red flame, the gold flame, the white flame. They're playing around within you, each of them. A divine essence, a medicine. They know how to unravel what no longer serves you. Stand now and receive this fire ceremony. I release. Remember, I surrender and renew. In this very moment, I accept this opportunity and I step from the fire now. I am ready for my leap in consciousness as the illusion of lack blocks, barriers, not enough time. Every form that I thought was real was a trap, was a choice, was a room. Bring the flame with you. Is it in your fingertips or your hands? Is it burning in your third eye or on your crown? Bring the essence and energy of the fire. Now you're moving, you're shedding, you're moving slowly, slowly, slowly. You feel that now as you shed and you burn, you release identities, relationships, beliefs, timelines. You move faster and faster and faster. Now you say, yes, I'm ready to burn away. And let what I burn become my fuel, become my power, my wisdom, become my strength, become my resilience, become my creativity. I purify the past, and from the ashes, my future is born, my love is born, my bliss is born, my life has been a beautiful initiation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I accept the strength, I accept the patterns and the stories I've completed. I accept that I am prepared now for my next flight. Breathe deeply. Now you feel next to you this powerful force. On one side, the snake. On one side, the horse. On one side, the wood, the earth. On the other side, the fire. This is the year. My clarity, my courage, they are all going to rise because the old ideas I had of who I was are falling away. The illusions rooted in fear, lack, and judgment are burning, collapsing. I rejoice. I let go. I surrender to the momentum and the real, aligned, alive essence of myself. Come into your body. Embody this moment and your future. Embody the wisdom that you've released from the past. and make a vow. Put your hand on your heart if you like and say, now I trust myself, I love myself, I honor myself, I value myself, I care for myself, I nourish myself, I put myself first so that I may overflow with abundance and kindness. I love myself first, I accept myself first, I release all judgment of myself first. Now I love others. I free others, and others are overflowing with love. I am, and it reflects. And I walk this path. I make a commitment to my soul to remember my mission, to reactivate my powers, and to use this year to burn away the illusions and then master the fire again. So I may ignite the internal truth of my inner fire, my soul's path. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Breathe in, down each chakra, into the belly, the root, down the feet. Feel yourself. Now bring your hands over the body. Feel your arms. Give your whole body a sense of being here and being now. I am a wise one. I am a sacred, wise elder, a medicine woman. I am a priest or priestess. I am the one that embodies new truths, wisdoms that have been forgotten and feared. And I accept my powers. I love them. I know that they are here to serve me and the greater good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So it is. I have downloaded the new keys, and so it is. The locks are opening on my ancient and future priestess powers, and so it is. I walk in the eternal now in great gratitude for all that has been gifted me today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. May this circle be open yet unbroken, and the peace and the power, the beauty, the love walk with us in our breath and our words, in our touch and our steps. And as this path is now a part of the Akasha, we offer this out to all those who are ready for healing, revealing, rebirthing, renewal. Thank you to the sacred fire, to the fire priestesses, to all the elementals of fire, to the dragons and the volcanoes. Thank you to the sun. Thank you to all those aspects of my body, my soul, and my mind that are ignited, purified, rekindled, warmed with the fire. It is done. In Lakech Alakin, I am another you, you are another me. Namaste. Thank you. Wow. Thank you so much. We went a long time. I hope I will see you on Thursday. We're going to have Oracle. So come to the workshop on Sunday. Come Thursday here. We're going to be playing with the oracles and playing with the things and learning more about what we're going to do on Sunday. So come play, come get some readings. And in the meantime, just carry this beautiful essence with you wherever you go today. Offer it to people, whether they are, you actually say, go watch this or not. Share this, be in this, embody this, let it unfold, and call on your powers, call on your wisdom, and have fun. The good, the bad, and the ugly comes up when you call forward things, right? The things that happen to make you say, no, I don't want these powers anymore. They get me in trouble. People kill me or criticize me. and the parts where you helped and healed yourself and others and the earth, and the truly satisfying beauty of who we are. So thank you for playing with me. I wear white buffalo calf woman gold pendant. Wow, around my neck right now. She's my guide amongst corn yen. Oh, wow. I love that. I'm so in love with her for a very long time now. But it's really an incredible thing that, I don't know, that these prophecies happened, that they came, and that very little to the general public was, gifted out from there. So one of the things that's really wonderful right now is those of us who recognize that we are coming back together as a tribe, tuning into that. So it's going to be beautiful. Oh, I've never even seen a necklace like that. I connect with and understand everything you're saying, and it blows my mind. And I'm also scared, yes, because you go so fast. And I know that my fear is showing me the direction to grow. Yes, everyone evolves in their own way, So the beautiful thing is, like on the retreats or in the classes too, everybody is where you are, and then you go to the next step for you. There's no like requirement. Did everybody learn to do this formula? Your experience of it unfolds in your own way. Very beautiful how that happens. And that's what we are doing now. We're being more silent, more resting, more calm, more centered, listening, because if it's already done and it's already here, then if I'm going, oh, what do I do and where do I go? And what if it doesn't happen? And then this and that and all this stuff, then I'm not here to receive the package, so very literal. Ooh, 1333. What a gift. I surrender you. Oh, speak so directly to my heart. I'm so glad. Thank you for joining us today. I accept total abundance. I need nothing other than to be in this moment. Yes. Love, love, love. Thank you. Thank you. You're so welcome. Right back at you. I accept these blessings and let they be multiplied, flow back to you 10,000 fold and out from us across the world. May all of you be very, very blessed. And, I had something I was going to show you, but I'll show you on Thursday. Take care. Reach out if you want to talk about the retreat. If you want to talk about anything, let me know. And come sign up for the Oracle workshop. It's going to be fun. It's going to be on 1/11 of the 1 year. Pretty fun.